So joining me real quick, we have Mike Bohman, who's one of Utah Outcast secret patrons out there. Not so secret anymore, you bastard. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so we've got Mike Bohman joining us on the show. He's been on the last week helping me out with Fun with Real Audio, and he's on for the whole fucking episode this week. So welcome to the show, sir. Welcome. So
hey, thanks.
If you wouldn't mind, tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do. And if you have anything that you want to plug, by all means, go ahead and plug. So,
well, currently I'm a programmer, but apparently not for long. I was just laid off this week, so now I'm looking. So if anyone needs, if anyone needs a JavaScript programmer, hey, hit me up.
Most people use Java nowadays. Hasn't that become like the standard? I mean, I would think.
Well, there's Java and there's JavaScript.
Oh.
So there's two different things. So kind of front end, back end stuff. So.
God damn it!
I always have a hard time explaining to my parents what I do. It's like, oh.
Well, and
I do computer stuff.
That's exactly what I have to tell people about my Clark Kent job. Hey, guys, it's X, and I'm not going to tell you what it is that I do, but it's stuff that they don't teach in college. So when you try to explain it to somebody, they'd be like, I have no idea what those words mean when you put them all together like that. That doesn't make any goddamn sense to me.
It's computer stuff. I do like freelance illustration and programming and oil painting and stuff. So I'm all
so
well-rounded.
So Mike, who are you besides a programmer? Are you let's see. I hate to ask these questions because I already know the answers to most of them and everything. But this is for those people out there that don't know who Mike is, and he could be as open or as shut as he wants to be with whatever he wants to share here. So, first of all, where are you from?
I grew up in Davis County, Utah. So
hooray, my neck of the woods.
Yay! So yeah, grew up there, and then currently live in Utah County. So,
ugh.
Yeah.
Well, at least you could go for beers with Jeff if you wanted to. He lives out in those fucking.
Seriously, and the theaters are empty on Sundays, so that's good.
Oh, that's got to be amazing. Because there's enough heathens up here or enough Catholics up here where it makes it so Sundays aren't quite as empty as they used to be.
So I grew up LDS. Mormon,
oh boy.
And, yeah. All through, served a mission and everything, and then
where'd you go?
A few years ago, I went to Australia, Melbourne, Australia.
Sweet.
So I still spoke English for the most part.
I was gonna say, did they teach you any Aborigine speak or anything out there?
No, I was actually in a Tongan area for a while and learned a little bit of Tongan, but that's and ate a lot of food.
Hey, that should serve you well. I mean, especially out there in Utah County, there should be. Aren't there a ton of Pacific Islanders out that way, or are they still just all located like in West Valley?
Not where I'm at.
Oh,
so
okay.
I think they're.
Oh, so you did the whole 2-year religious vacation. Did you have
any 2-year thing? And
did you have any conversions? Did you have anybody jump onto the bandwagon?
We had a few, and so I'd like to apologize to them.
Seek them out and be like, "Hey, all that shit I told you, nah, bro.
Yeah,
nah."
So
that's crazy.
Finally, about 4 or 5 years ago, we just had enough. There was it was too much.
So okay, what broke the shelf? I'd like to know if you're comfortable sharing that.
Honestly, what broke the shelf? There have been a lot of things kind of leading up to it. A lot of we kind of lost all faith whatsoever, and and prayer, because you pray for so many things and it doesn't work out, and it's just like, why bother?
So intercessory prayer doesn't work.
Yeah, you figure that. It's like, hey. But one of the things that finally was like, yeah, screw it. It's like they came out and said, the church came out and said that caffeine is not what makes coffee against the word of wisdom. One of the church spokesmen said that, and it's like,
oh,
well then what the fuck does? It's like,
I thought
drinking like a Monster or Red Bull is A-okay, but coffee and tea, which have proven health benefits, is bad.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a definitive Monster energy drinking kind of guy.
I enjoy them too, but after that,
but I realize that they are
coffee.
not. It is not to my best interest to be drinking those a lot. You know,
and so it came down to, I just can't rely on because I said so anymore. And my wife was in a job where she actually left before I did, and she was in a job that was very diverse.
Oh, okay.
It's a very diverse group, and
I was going to make a joke about her hawking living scriptures, the kiosk in the mall.
No, she left before me, and so I had to do some serious reflection, and we've been kind of just
afloat
for quite a while. And whenever we didn't have to go, we didn't go. And I'd always found church to be boring. Even on my mission, I was like, oh, this is so boring.
You're looking for ways to,
but finally it's just like, okay, this is enough. This isn't, and it wasn't even any anti-church stuff out there. That's obviously kept us away. After it's like, oh yeah, they didn't tell us this in church.
Yeah, for all the people that are out and you point them out to CES later and they're like, motherfucker.
Yeah, we left before the CES letter came out, but it was like, yeah, that's just, we left right before that. But there was a lot of other things that's just like, and then the churches had to come out and own up to since then, like oh yeah, he had multiple wives, several months before 15. No, she was 14. Just say 14. And
trying to candy coat child rape.
He didn't really translate the Book of Mormon from the actual plates, but stuck a head in his hat, and it's like,
and he used the stone.
What was the purpose of the plates? Yeah, head in a hat with a rock that he found previously.
He read the plates through his spiritual eyes, I think is what their line is for that bullshit.
Then what was the purpose of having the plates in the first place if he didn't even look at them?
And those fuckers would be so heavy. They'd be so
they've
goddamn
had to
heavy.
come up and admit to since then. It's just like, oh yeah, but they whitewash it in their articles on Mormon.org. It's like,
yeah. Well, I had a guy on last week for the interview. Really super nice guy, but very much still Mormon. And I could be that atheist, that atheist. But I actually enjoy this dude's company. I like his stuff that he puts on YouTube. I wouldn't have had him on if I didn't think he'd be a good guest. But the thing is, like, he believes everything, every single thing. And it's like, he believes the whole Adam and Eve story, the Noah story. And it's like, dude, have you put any thought into this stuff? He's like, well, yeah, I've had some problems with things before, but then I pray on it and I'm like, oh shit.
See, I gave like Joseph Smith a lot of leeway. I was like, until I found out exactly all what he did. But but like stuff like the Adam and Eve and Noah's Ark, I just considered that more metaphorical because.
But the thing is,
like dinosaurs were around, and it's like yeah.
And I was one of those believing Christians at the time where I'm like, okay, well, evolution is definitely a thing. And, that means the whole Adam and Eve thing was metaphorical, with the air quotes that you have there. But at the same time, you start thinking about it and you're like, well, if that's metaphorical, what the fuck did Jesus die for? And so it's like, once you start connecting the dots, like in your brain, you're like, wait, this is all bullshit. And that's when I had my giant aha moment.
When you're in the church, you have these blinders on and you don't see it. But once you step back, you're just like, what the fuck? Really? I've been like believing this my whole life. Man, I just wasted 38 years of my life.
38 years of 10% tithing. God. I wish somebody would come out with a class action where they'd be like suing to get their money back.
Been very, very happy this week. We got we finally got around to sending in the letter to have our names removed off the records, and so we got the
Oh,
Yesterday
sweet.
we got the letter back from the church. Okay.
Oh, they didn't do the whole "we would like to come and talk to you" thing where they.
Although I got an email from the bishop and said, "We respect your things, and so we're just going to move ahead with it." Like, thanks.
Boy, that's a defeated man. It sounds
Yeah,
like right there.
I was waiting for them to come to the door and like start, trying to convince us otherwise. And it's like, I've been in it 38 years. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know the script, guys.
No,
I know. I
thanks.
still get home teachers trying to come by and get my wife to come back to the church, and it's funny because they're like, "Hi, we're here from the Relief Society, and we'd like to talk with your wife." And I'm like, "Honey, somebody's here for you." I make her answer the door.
I like when they come around to like the neighborhood parties. So.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's coming up soon since it's now summertime. We have one every year in our neighborhood, even though they don't want to call it the ward, but
not to us.
We live abutted to one of the parks that we have here, so like we could see it going on from our back windows and stuff. And I told my wife that the next time it comes around, and I haven't thought about if I'm actually going to do it this year or not, but I'm going to take out the wheel around cooler that we have, and I want to fill it full of like just shitty PBR or just Mike's Hard Lemonade or something like that, and then just plant it away from where the food is, because that's where they bless it, and you just go and eat all the shitty food that they have. And I just want to put a sign on my cooler that says "free beer for a conversation." And I just want to see if anybody in the neighborhood will take me up on it, because there's going to be a lot of people like, "Oh, don't go over there. That guy has alcohol." And my kids are
beer.
It's like, I'm like, this is beer. It's essentially like edgy or soda pop. It's not like.
And beer was okay in the early Word of Wisdom too. They had a hard time trying to decide what to do with it. So
it's a damn shame that they stopped.
But selling. I like my beer.
Yeah, all of it is probably from the fuck was her name, Emma Smith or whatever the hell.
Emma Smith. And it's like she just didn't like to clean up the
chewing tobacco on the floor and
all over the floor. It's like because apparently they had bad aim with the spittoon.
And it just makes me laugh that a lot of the people in this state that are super Mormons, and that's mainly what you get in Utah because it's the center of it all, that don't know their own history with like Brigham Young having a distillery, where
and the whole coffee and tea thing was just them trying to get back at the Relief Society, because a lot of the Relief Society women like their coffee and tea. It's like, oh, we should make that against it too.
And it's fucked up because even now that they've come across and say, and this has gone off of the interview stuff, but it's just mainly us bitching about Mormons, but it's fun to those out there. But the whole like caffeine is okay. You still
it's not caffeine it's not the caffeine that makes it against the Word of Wisdom. It's just because we said so.
But you still can't catch a Coke on the BYU campus.
No.
I want to let that sink in for those people that are listening outside of Utah. We're talking,
caffeine free,
decently sized like college campus. BYU is a pretty big school. I mean, for as far as like religious schools go, it's probably one of the better ones to go to if you had to go to a religious college. But it has this crazy fucking honor code. On top of it, they don't sell like caffeined drinks on campus at all. And we're talking like sodas, we're talking tea, we're talking coffee. Look, me going to Weber State University, I had to fucking have coffee. I went there too. I had to have coffee. It's like, fuck, I'm up here in Ogden. The air's thinner. I'm really fucking far from home. I need coffee today. So
yeah, that's where I went too. So up in Davis County, that's where you go. So.
Yep, exactly. So let's see, what else do we have here that I can ask you about? Let's see. Favorite booze / beer that you have, and I know you're on keto right now, so you're not really drinking too many beers.
I'm on keto right now, so I'm still kind of a beer noob. So trying to. The first time I tried beer after.
It's a lot to take in when you get started with it.
This is nothing like I expect. I didn't know what to expect. It's like this is nothing like I thought it was. I like some IPAs and stuff. But,
that's what I've got right now. I've got a Hop Rising double IPA from Squatters, and the guy on the cover, if you guys are looking at this on YouTube, that's Jason Stock. He's another Utah atheist. Really fucking cool guy.
So like But I like mixed drinks. I like some vodka in my soda, vodka rum in my soda. My wife really likes a dirty Dr. Pepper, so
Like
get some
just
coconut rum in that.
Oh, I was gonna say like regular dirty. For those wondering at home, dirty any kind of soda is usually lime and coconut flavored as well. So I never thought of
She
buying.
likes the coconut rum in it. So
I was gonna say I should buy some Malibu next weekend because now that we're recording this on Saturday at 11 o'clock in the evening, you can no longer get to the liquor store and it's shut down on the holidays. So goddamn state, I swear, man. All right, so for you, what's the most tooth-grindingly annoying thing that people of faith can do to just set you off?
Oh, one of the things that bugs me the most is people who attribute all of their successes towards their righteousness and how blessed they are. So it's like we're so blessed because we live in nice McMansion and
I get
we're
that way.
so blessed because we're so righteous.
I get that way sometimes when I'm watching any of like the acceptance speeches on like the Grammys or like on the Academy Awards, and they're like, this wouldn't have happened without God, and I'm like,
so all successes are attributed to how righteous they are. So, but any failures are just a trial. So
I'm just being tested. He's just testing me right now, and it's like, yeah, that's not what a nice person would do, Like even as a dad, like I want my kids to learn stuff on their own, but if they're starting to fuck up, I'm not going to be like, you fucking learn that lesson, bitch. Just let them suffer, dude.
So right. Everything's either a blessing or a trial, and it's like, no, just sometimes shit happens.
Yeah. Sometimes life throws you a big fucking curveball.
I just got laid off. Shit happens. You deal with it. So
exactly. That's a good way to deal with it. Let's see. We already know your honest opinion of the LDS Church, so we're going to skip to the next one. What keeps you in state? I mean, have you ever looked at moving outside of the state? I mean, being in Australia had to be pretty cool, but
yeah, being in Australia is pretty cool. Ironically enough, we're about to move to Florida. My wife had just accepted a position at a Florida job in Jacksonville, and we were about to do that. Next day, I got laid off. So, and since I bring in the majority of the money, it's like, that may not work out.
God damn it!
That's what's keeping us in Utah right now. We've always talked about moving out of Utah, but I haven't had quite the opportunity to. So, but it's a nice place, but I love the southern Utah Red Rocks and stuff, but some of the attitude is.
I've always wanted to. I've joked with my wife about it. Where I don't see us moving anywhere anytime soon because the place I would want to immigrate to is in the Pacific Northwest, and we took a trip to Seattle, and my God, I fucking love that city. I love that city so much.
We had talked about moving to Seattle several years ago.
My wife hated it.
My brother-in-law was up there with the army, and we visited him. It's just like, it's so nice up here.
It's so nice. It's so green.
It's so green.
And when we went up there for that trip, my wife fucking hated it because it rained often. Not as much as like people joke about, but it was quite rainy. But I shrugged it off. I'm like, I'm from the South. I'm used to fucking rain. It's no big deal for me. But my wife is a Utah girl through and through, so it just makes me laugh. And so we are stuck in the state for quite some time, especially until most people die on her side of the family. And so I'm hoping that maybe one day we can go live in Salt Lake somewhere because I'm so fucking tired of Davis County. This place sucks.
Yeah, I grew up in southern Davis County, and so I was like, and ironically, northern Davis County is pretty similar. So
yeah, no shit.
Northern Utah County,
is
pretty similar to where I grew up. So
okay, so we
were looking forward to moving, but not at the moment now.
Well, to be honest, I'm glad you're not moving to Florida because Florida sucks balls, man.
I was just looking forward to warm weather. I'm not a winter fan. So.
No, oh, that's too bad. All right. So, what is your favorite thing to do whilst in Utah? What is your favorite Utah thing to do?
Favorite Utah thing to do? I don't know. I like going to Southern Utah. That's Southern. I love the Red Rock stuff. That's
Yeah.
that's
Hey,
probably.
you're closer than me. Fuck, I have to. It would take me like an hour to drive down to where you are.
My mother-in-law's in St. George, so we head down there often. It's not visiting the mother-in-law is not the favorite thing to do, but
Yeah, but you're
I
so
like the
close to
area.
Vegas at that point.
Yeah. I think we were in Vegas about the same time you were.
Oh yeah, you guys were headed back, and I was on the way out. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, where I got my first tattoos.
Oh, what'd you get? I think I remember seeing it on the internet, but
Yeah,
I don't.
it's a dinosaur skull.
Yeah.
It's a Styracosaurus skull. So, and I think it's lonely. It needs more friends.
Yeah, I keep wanting to get more done myself, but shit's expensive, man.
It is.
If you want good work, it costs a lot of money. Don't buy cheap tattoos.
Hey,
I think that's something we can leave people with is don't buy a cheap tattoo.
Hey, it's an art form. You got to pay for it. And as an artist, I appreciate that. So
yeah, exactly.
I actually drew this myself, and they did it very, very well. It's just like the drawing. So.